Okay. Okay.
I don't care what it look like, so I'm trying to tell you it's gonna be alright.
Okay.
I came out with some inspiration and some hope today.
Okay.
All time.
Okay.
Let's go.
Because we from the back to the front, the head of the tail, and we're getting what we want. We're going from the bottom right up to the top. Ain't nobody playing, cause we can't be stopped. 'Cause at the end, we win. We win.
Let's go.
We win. In the end, we win.
Let's get it. Come on.
What's up, everybody? What's good, YouTube? It is your boy, your host with the most smooth tea, and you are in the midst of another Smooth Tea's We Win Sports Talk show. Remember this, winning is the end game. So if you ain't about to win, don't go in. Yes, sir. Ha ha ha. Hey, man, here we are. Post-championship edition, man. We got a great show that we're getting ready to drop down today, man. Of course, you know I had to bring my guy back because I'm going to let him get a chance to get some stuff off his chest today. He get to talk his talk today. I'm going to let him go ahead and get it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have a great show. Before I bring him in, look, let's just, do what we normally do, man. Look, to this corner right here, you know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, comment, share. Again, like, subscribe, comment, share. Let's run these numbers up, man. We're doing a great job. We're going to get into that later on, man. I appreciate y'all, the We Win Sports family. We Win Sports Talk family. I appreciate y'all and what y'all doing. Run these numbers up. Also, catch me on all social media platforms. That is at Smooth T, the number 4, and Real. Again, on all social media platforms. That is at Smooth T, the number 4, and Real. So, look, man. Without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get this thing turned up. I know he waiting, so let me just go ahead and bring my boy in, you know what I'm saying, who I call the greatest wingman on the planet. So let's go without further ado. Let me bring in my boy, my partner, my ace, my brother from another mother, Big LT the Guru. What's up, my boy?
What's up? What's up? Good Buckeye morning to everybody. Let's go. What's up? Yes,
sir, man. Hey, man. Hey.
Championship. That's what's up.
Talk your stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. We told y'all so. We told y'all who we were. We are who you thought we were. Everybody. Yes, sir.
Hey, I see you back there representing. I see the helmet on the side. While you adjust the camera, I see all that. I see you in the background.
It's all about Buckeyes today. Ain't no other Cleveland stuff up here. It's all about Buckeyes today.
Hey, so while we're there, you know what I'm saying? Let's get into the title of the show because you said y'all say who y'all said y'all were. So fittingly, you know what I'm saying? I named the show today "Job Secure." Ryan Day is safe in Ohio, and the reason why he is safe because your Buckeyes did pull off that national chip win last night against Notre Dame, 34-23. A game that wasn't as close as the score may have said, but they did it. I'm going to say this off the rip. If you go back and look at the previous shows, I called it and said from the rip, I felt like they had a championship team. It was just a matter of them, getting it done. And then I'm going to say one thing right here, you know what I'm saying? So it looks like to the nation, looks like it's back-to-back titles for the Big Ten, you know what I'm saying? Michigan, you know what I'm saying? We showed the way, and them Buckeyes chose to follow. So all that talk about the Big Ten can't do nothing, let that go. You know what I'm saying? And times has changed. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but remember this: you can't spell champion without that M though. But hey, man, this your day, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ohio did the thing, man. Job secure for Ryan Day. What you got, my boy? Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a lot, man. We'll take it step by step, but I can't decide if I'm more happier for Coach Day or the players. I'm gonna just put it all on one pedestal right there. Coach Day definitely did. He got a gigantic silverback gorilla off his back. Let's just say that. And I'm happy for that man because I feel like he was handpicked by Coach Urban Meyer. So I feel like he was the guy. And when there was talk about replacing him, I'm like, well, who? There's
Right.
really no out there really available that would have been a better replacement for him. So I'm just glad that he was able to do it with the team that he was blessed with. And, I get the whole Big Ten 2 years in a row. What y'all did was individual, and what we did is individual. I ain't even going to clump them together like that. Y'all did y'all thing last year. That was last year. This is a totally different set of circumstances. We did our thing this year, so I'm not even going to get into, who led the way and this and that. Big ups, y'all got y'all ups last year. This year, it's all about them Buckeyes. Like you said, because nobody, here's one thing. Nobody, and they showed the stat last night, nobody can say they ran a gauntlet of teams like we did ever, especially in consecutive weeks. To go ahead and beat the Volunteers, Oregon, Texas, and then finally Notre Dame. Nobody's ran a gauntlet like that. Like I think it was something like playing like 5 top 5 teams, like in a matter of weeks or something like that. Like we did some things that no other team can say they've ever done. So no matter how much money is paid or how much talent is on your team, you still have to go out there and play those games. And the fact that we weren't even the highest paid team that paid the highest money lets you know that not everybody gets their players to gel. Even though you got all the talent, they still have to play together as a team. And I think we were like, we might have been top 5. We might have been like the 4th, 5th, or 6th team in terms of money paid out. But here we are sitting number 1 when it's all said and done. So,
Hey, I'm gonna have to tip my hat to y'all on getting that victory because yes, that is true. Y'all did with this being the first year of the 12-team playoff. Y'all went through a gauntlet where normally in college football you had your conference championship game and then you went into waiting to get to that next bowl game for the semifinal. Then you went right into the championship. Y'all went from going your last game, then in 2 weeks, bam, here it go. You playoff run, then playoff run, then playoff run. So yeah, man, y'all went through a gauntlet because truthfully, y'all could have easily been someone that had to buy just based off the talent alone, but because of how everything lined up, y'all had to go through that where you went through Tennessee, Texas, Oregon, just to get to Notre Dame. So that was a well-earned championship. I will say that. Y'all were number 2 behind Texas with that money. But like you said, no matter how much money you pay, you have to get the players to jail. And what I'm gonna give y'all flowers on this, man. What I appreciate about y'all, and you know how we live our life, man. I appreciate the fact that y'all were unapologetically pumping the faith message to let people know who y'all was rocking with. You know what I'm saying? That was something that was very refreshing and great to me to see that, man. And I appreciate your players and even it was funny because the media didn't even give y'all no pushback on that. You know what I'm saying? They y'all highlighted that so much that they was right there saying, I mean, this team has shown that it's built on faith and on character and belief in God. And the media, you know what I'm saying, usually, back in the day, they would give pushback on that, you know what I'm saying? Or they would try to silence you real quick. It wasn't none of that. So I appreciate that from your team, man. Also, standing up, for what it is. And that's what it is,
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I'm proud to let me talk more about the players. Just proud of the players sticking together, going through what they went through. I like how you said how the team a lot of Christians on that thing, a lot of Christians on our team, and they talk about God openly. They even talked about last night how they were having like baptisms, like in the locker room, because these young men were kind of like just rallying, together like that,
Right.
So just to be stuck together and went through adversity, because they said the big game against that team up north, man, they said that was the low point because they beat us at home. It was a game we were projected to win by a lot. And then they had the controversy after the game when they tried to plant the flag, and Captain Jack Sawyer made his comments, and they made it seem like Coach Ryan Day didn't do anything about it. So it was like the low point of the season. So for them to like have it was a private meeting they had. My sources tell me it was a players only meeting with only one coach, and that was Coach Day. And they said it was like a family meeting where they got everything off their chest. They said what they had to say. And when they came out swinging, and they had one goal in mind. That was that national championship, and it was just a complete game from the quarterback to the running backs. All the receivers made crucial plays. The O-line was beautiful, and the O-line we thought was a weakness of the team. And then on defense, man, just basically, I mean, it was pretty much smooth sailing. We didn't sweat a whole lot in this tournament because up most of the time. We had a few nervous moments, but for the most part, it was a sweatless 4 games. So, and that's a true testament to just how they coached and how these young men played, man. Go Buckeyes.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. You know what I'm saying? Say what you want, L. You know what I'm saying? You're welcome. You know what I'm saying? Because we're the ones who lit that fire up under y'all. So you're welcome. You know.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, sometimes it takes that in a long season. Nobody in 17 games, or I think we ended up being 14-2, 16 games. Nobody's ever gone undefeated like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're gonna have a bad game, a couple in there, and it's like the game doesn't even with the 12-team playoffs. The big game, doesn't even really carry the weight it used to carry because before, as you were saying, whoever lost that game was out for the most part. Now it's like, I mean, we lost that game, and that was like our second loss. We still make it to the playoffs, and we end up winning the thing. So it's like, really, yeah, it was the game, but it doesn't carry the weight that it used to carry because before it used to shut you out of the playoffs, but now it's just another game. Hey, we lost it. We lost to y'all. We lost to Oregon.
Hell, don't say that.
Still there.
Don't say that, man. Don't say it was just another game because for you being somebody that's bred in Ohio and me, you know what I'm saying, bleeding that maize and blue, it's more than just another game to us. To the media, it might be like, but to us, our seasons can be made and won off of, you know what? Because for me, I felt like, all right, we got a chance if we can win the big game and then get into the bowl game. I was like, I wouldn't expect us to be in the championship this year. So I was like, that's a great season for me. So I think the big game still means something to us thoroughbreds, the ones that's rooted in the big game. To the new cats, it might be a little bit different, but nah, man, it means something, man. I'm good.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I think it was, I don't know, did you watch any of the post-game show last night?
Yeah.
So in the post-game show, I feel like it was one of the broadcasters. It was either Van Pelt or it was Reese Davis.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's something to think about. But he said that putting all that pressure on that one game, the big game, it might be to a fault. Like it might be something that is like jeopardizing or being counterproductive in these locker rooms. And it might not be for y'all, but definitely in the last couple of years, we've seen it with Ohio State. When you put that kind of pressure on that game, it might be counterproductive. And I was like, that's kind of a good way to put it. like it's going to always be an important game, but is it going to be the biggest game moving forward with a 12-team playoff? I might be rethinking that now because y'all won the game, but essentially y'all season was over in the sense that there was no shot to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, we knew.
It's like, yeah, they won it. It's almost like a chapter of the season. It wasn't like the climactic chapter. It was a chapter in y'all season, but it was like the bowl y'all played in against Alabama. I mean, you want to win it, of course, for recruiting purposes, but it really the win of it? Was it really something that was going to propel y'all into the national championship? I don't know. So I'm kind of rethinking it.
Well, now we was eliminated from that from way before the big game. So for us, it was more of a okay, if we can somehow sneak out of this big game and get this win, and then number one for me, it was us getting bowl eligible. Then once we get through this big game, which even I told you, I didn't think we was gonna win that game just based off of what we had and no quarterback play. It was our defense that Wink put up that made us better against y'all and against Alabama. Other than that, our offense and now our running back Jordan Marshall against Alabama, that was legit. But for us, I didn't have any championship aspirations this year for us because of the fact of what we lost last year and because of the fact I knew we didn't have no quarterback play. You know what I'm saying? So I knew we're not winning the chip this year. So that's why even from the beginning, I was like, man, the one team I think will win the chip was the Buckeyes. So, despite of being able to, you got to use your resources. That's the whole new element of college football is you using all the resources you can to get what you get. And once you can get that chemistry built, because like I say, I watch a lot of documentaries, so I don't been in y'all locker room and watch how your players gel together back and forth. So one thing I can say is that even though y'all did have a collective of bringing players in, they hopped on board, and even when they overcame the big game, like you said, within that meeting, because that Jack Sawyer, man, he's something special, man. I ain't even gonna front. You know what I'm saying? He remind me of one of them Bosa boys. You know what I'm saying? He got that type of mentality. He's special, man. And you need leaders like that in the locker room. I mean, I love them type of leaders, especially them linebacker type leaders or them defensive end type leaders like that'll speak up. Man, I love it. And even when he rushed, Ryan Day yesterday and just hugged him and was like, "Hey, we got it." I like that. That's a special moment because that's showing you the bond between player and coach. So,
yeah, he kind of reminded me of. I saw the same thing, and y'all got Aiden Hutchinson a couple years when y'all won it. Like talent wise, he's not as good as Aiden Hutchinson, but I feel like in terms of leadership, they're like right there. That's right. What he really reminded me of. Like whenever I see him, I think about Aiden Hutchinson did with you guys when y'all won the chip and everything like that, and years before that. So that's what you remember.
Go ahead. Now I would say so. Let's just while we're here, let's just dive in a little bit deeper on last night, man. And
that were in the press box were probably like, if they go 1-on-1, if they stack the box, and we got Jeremiah 1-on-1, we gotta hit it. We gotta take a shot. And sure enough, he ran a good route. Quarterback Will Howard made a good throw. And that's ball game right there, so.
Hey, and a big shout out to Will Howard, man, because he showed a lot of gumption. I will say this. He showed a lot of gumption last night, even with him running the ball, man. You know what I'm saying? He had, so let's just do some stats with it. He had, he had 57 yards rushing by himself. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention the 100 yards that Judkins had. And what I look at as a running back is Judkins he had 11 rushes for 100 yards. So that means his yards per carry was 9.1 average. You know what I'm saying? That's great. Even Henderson had 12 rushes for 49 yards. I always felt like if you can get 20 rushes for 100 yards, you're having a good game. But anytime you get under them 20 rushes and you get 100 yards, that's even greater for what you're doing. He also had 17 for 21. That's a great passing percentage for 231 yards for 2 touchdown passes. Jeremiah Smith, 5 receptions for 88 yards and 1 major touchdown. Like, I get it, you got to sell out, but man, that's just like, say, Colorado. You know what I'm saying? You gonna put a cornerback one-on-one against Travis Hunter, and you gonna give him cushion? You gotta play. You gotta play better than that. That's the one person you can't play with. You can play with everybody else, but you can't play with certain individuals. And Smith was one of them that you can't play with. You know what I'm saying? And even Riley Leonard, you know, he had 255 yards passing, and he himself rushed for 17 times for 40 yards, but that was only 2.4 average. But their running game was nowhere. You know, even, you know, Jordan Love coming back off of being injured, but they had nothing now. They had 1 wide receiver, the Great House, with 128 yards reception with 2 touchdowns. But y'all defense really overpowered them, and the offense that y'all put out there displayed, man, and showed, you know, why y'all got the chip, man. It wasn't as close as the score saying. I felt like they began to make their run a little bit too late, and especially with that missed field goal, like you said. When that field goal missed, I was like, oh, that's a wrap. Then they started making their run. It was too late. You know, it's just a matter of just letting that time go off.
Yeah. I think once we realized the type of game they were trying to play, I think you and I may have talked about this. It was like Notre Dame could only win that game playing one way. They had to win it playing sloppy, getting turnovers. Mm-hmm. Whereas Buckeyes, we could have won that game in multiple ways. And playing sloppy is one of the ways we could have won, because we're the stronger, more talented team. And the turnovers will have to just be in Notre Dame's favor for them to win. And it was like we were kind of up by enough to where we had our 1 turnover where it kind of didn't hurt. It hurt us, but it didn't hurt us enough to put the game in jeopardy. We can win a slug match. We can win an ugly one. We can win in a shootout. So it was like, that's why the Notre Dame team was really kind of behind the 8 ball. It would have to go perfectly for them. And like I said, that first drive, it looked like, okay, this is how they're going to play. But once we realized that's what it was going to be, I mean, we got the guys to be physical too. Like our D-line has like a 6 to 8 man rotation. We had some veteran linebackers. I mean, our whole defense really was veterans. You know, they weren't any new faces on that defense. And so once we saw we had to get physical a little bit, we did that. We started shutting down that quarterback, Riley Leonard. And then that allowed us to get up when we got up 21-7. I was like, all right, here it is. And they were a team that could come back. They weren't really, because I think at one time we were up 31-7.
Yeah.
31-7. It was okay. I don't know if they can overcome the type of team they have. I don't know if they can overcome that, because even like you said, their running back, Jeremiah Love, he didn't really get off. And he wasn't 100%. I mean, but you know, he didn't really do the things he was doing earlier in the playoffs. So just everything just came together for us at the right time, and we were able to finish strong, man. Again, it's a great feeling. This is the 3rd championship in my lifetime that I've seen the Buckeyes get, and I think it said they have 7 of them. So I'm glad to say I've seen at least about half of them in my lifetime. So it's just a day, man, and we got to reload, because we losing pretty much their whole defense, and we losing a lot of pieces. We losing our quarterback on offense, and both our running backs. So it's gonna be fun to see how they reload. We got some pieces left. We got a few, I think we got about 2 or 3 receivers coming back, and we got some O-line coming back.
Right.
But defense, I think we might have maybe a linebacker coming back and maybe a DB. So it's gonna be fun to see.
That's because y'all did have an older team. Y'all, that's one thing I wanted to touch on also, was the fact that, like kind of what we went through, you know what I'm saying? When we won last year, we lost 14, 15 people. And so it's very key of what you got coming up next, you know. So that's going to be real. You know, curious to see how y'all put that together. So 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
little side note. How did you feel when it said Alex Orji he got in the portal? He went to like UNLV or something like that, didn't he?
oh yeah. I already knew he was in the portal before before the bowl game. He had already announced he was going. But it's funny, on the last show, me and my guy Mac, because Mac is a Michigan fan too. I told him about you. I told him about our dynamic, that we're a real two odd couple, even though we best friends like brothers, but our college teams cannot stand each other. You know what I'm saying? But we had already knew he was in the portal. And, you know, I gave Alex Orji some props on the fact, okay, I appreciate you playing. But the truth of the matter is, he only played because he was trying to show and build up his stock. You know what I'm saying? To show somebody. However, it didn't work because he got out there, he threw an interception, and he did nothing. So, I mean, I wish him the best, man. Like, one thing I want for him to do, man, is, man, work on your passing game. Like, if you're gonna be successful, you got to be able to throw the ball to be an elite quarterback in college football. It's been seen too many times by other quarterbacks. You got your Brock, your Brock. What's the Brock Bowles from UGA? Well, Miami now. I mean, Shadors, your Cams, your Dylan Gabriels, your Will Howards. You got to be able to throw that ball down the field. And once you get in the game, we know you're not gonna throw the ball, so we ought to make it know you running right or left. So everybody gonna rush. So I wish him the best, man. But nah, because I know what we got coming up next with Bryce Underwood, and then we even got Mikey Green coming from Fresno State. Oh, next year is gonna be totally different in gold blue. You know what I'm saying? And then with Justice Hayes coming in, our wide receiver core, I need to do a little bit more research. I know we got Moore and we got Morgan. So we got some other receivers. So we're going to be all right. And then that defense that beat Alabama, that same defense is coming back because all of our starters didn't even play that game. Like the ones that are going pro, they didn't play in that game. So all we're doing is adding on to the pie for next year. So I'm excited about that, even though, which I'm gonna get up to next. They didn't rank us and it's rightfully so. We didn't end well, so I ain't mad. I don't care nothing about rankings like that as much, but we didn't get ranked in the final AP poll. But I'm cool with that because that just means we gonna show what we got. But however, just to take a look at it, man, that is the final AP poll right here. With of course y'all leading with being 14-2 and Notre Dame being 14-2, Oregon being 13-1. You got Texas, then Penn State, UGA, Arizona State, Boise State got in, Tennessee, Indiana, Ole Miss, SMU, BYU, Clemson, Iowa State, Illinois, Alabama, Miami, South Carolina, Syracuse, even Army got in there, Missouri, UNLV, Memphis, which I'm happy for them, and of course the beloved Buffaloes. You know what I'm saying? Ended with that 25th spot. So, you know, how you feel about, you know what I'm saying? Even y'all getting that final number one, which is rightfully so. Y'all won the chip, you know. Mm-hmm. But then
I like the fact that it's Big Ten and 3 of the top 5. I like that.
Yeah.
Last 2 years, Big Ten on up and up, man. You know, SEC gonna really have to do some things to change this up because, you know, we 3 of the top 5, and I see 1, 2, 3. I see 3 SEC teams, but in the top 10, you got 4 Big Ten teams. So it's like I like how that look, man. And, the Big Ten is showing that we got something to say too.
For sure.
Yeah. So I like that. I mean, of course, seeing us number 1 is a great thing. It was an exciting season, man. Enjoyed every minute of it. I like the story and the growth, just like the arc of our team. How it kind of started high and it got real low, and then we just took off after that. Man, it was almost like a hero movie where the hero's journey, where he come out of a situation, get into like a bad situation, and it's the turning point, drives him to become the hero he needs to be. In order to become the champion we needed to be, we had to reach that low moment,
Right.
and that sparked us into doing some amazing things. I mean, if you check our stats, we don't get very many teams. Our quarterback threw for over 4,000 yards. We had 2 1,000-yard rushers. We had 2 1,000-yard receivers. So the offense did its thing. We had two defenders with over 100 tackles. I feel like we had a couple defenders with double digit sacks.
Right.
I did the defense again, but I know JT Tuamola had about 12 or 13 sacks. But I mean, overall, you look at it up and down, man. It was a really good season.
Okay. So
And stuff like that, man.
I was trying to find this script that I had because it had the conference call, and what I mean by that is the fact that every conference who's in the top 25, and unfortunately the SEC throughout the whole 25 they had 7 to our 5 to the Big Ten's 5. But what we are showing is, hey man, this ain't back in the day. It's a whole new day for college football. NIL has shown that because now the SEC can no longer just stockade and hold players hostage because they want to play right now. So I think it's college football. It's going to be even better next year, man, because now there's just such a balance of power. Yeah, some teams they still gonna have that true root, like Georgia, Alabama, y'all, us, Tennessee, certain teams, Texas, they still gonna have like a certain weight that they'll carry. But overall, man, this thing as we progress, this thing is it's gonna get even more wide open, man. So expect to see more teams on the come up, man. Like you already know how I feel about them Buffaloes, on what they got going on next season also. So I think that's going to be a big season for Coach Prime and the crew. So, but it's definitely going to be some big stuff popping for next year, man. So with that being said, how what are your expectations for next year? Because for me, when we won the chip, I knew we were going to lose players. So my expectation for me it was, and people are going to say, I mean, you did it once, can you do it twice? I was like, nah, I know we're not going to do it twice. I was like, because you got to remember, we had been to the college playoff 4 times straight. I was like, so I know we're not going to do it. We're not going to win back to back. Once we got this chip, everybody was gone. And the way stuff played out with Jim Harbaugh leaving and then JJ leaving behind them, with us not being able to get a quarterback out of the transfer portal, I already knew that wasn't going to happen for us. But for you, what do you see for y'all coming up, man, for Columbus?
I mean, honestly, as you know, O State is one of those high-profile universities that really just reloads. And my expectation next year is to make the 12-team playoff. Because even in other seasons when we had like quote-unquote down years, we would lose maybe 2 games. And we saw this year, losing 2 games still gets you in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because we're Ohio State, we can kind of use that to our advantage where if we lose 1, 2, maybe even 3 games, depending on who you lose to and how you lose, you can still make this 12-team playoff. So my expectation right now, initially, just knowing off the top of my head what I know we have coming back, but I know we're going to have NIL people coming in as well because football is pretty much becoming NFL, where you got NIL deals just means free agency.
Right.
So we got a 5-star quarterback that we got from Alabama. and we got a 5-star quarterback that we signed from the next class. So one of those quarterbacks should be good enough to at least manage the games, most of the games. And then, like I said, we have some key pieces coming back. We got a full O-line. Most of our O-line is coming back, except for the guy who got moved to left tackle, Donovan Jackson. So I think all those guys are coming back. We already signed a bruising running back from West Virginia. So we got the big back that's going to help move the chains. And then we got Caleb Downs coming back on defense. We got our linebackers, I think, coming back. We got our second team D-line coming back, the guys who played behind our starters. So I feel like we have enough, just off the top of my head, to at least make the playoffs. So to answer your question, I at least expect us to make the 12-team playoff.
Yeah, and I think the difference between y'all, even though y'all are going to lose some players, we had so much controversy surrounding about whether Harbaugh's gonna stay or go. One thing you know is Ryan Day is not going anywhere. So him still being able to recruit, that's still evident, because even when Urban Meyer was there, Ryan was the number one recruiter for Urban.
Yep.
So the fact that when Jim Harbaugh left, you know, we was in limbo, and then he left so late that we couldn't go get a quarterback because the portal had already closed. So y'all don't have to deal with all that nonsense that we had to deal with. So I can definitely see, you know, your perspective of what you're saying. Oh, man, I think we're just going to reload. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to start for us this year, because Sharon Moore is not going anywhere. He's a Michigan guy that he want to stay and he want to be there. So he doesn't have that allure like Harbaugh did. I want to go to the NFL now. So I think we're in that process of beginning to reload. So we'll be back next year. And like I said, for y'all don't have that issue about Ryan Day leaving. So with y'all winning the chip, that's still gonna just look good for y'all, for people coming out to Ohio. So definitely.
Because I think officially what happened, and you might not want to hear this, but you may or may not agree, but I think once Saban retired, I feel like Ohio State has become like the de facto Alabama. Like, I feel like we've got, after Alabama, we might have the next good set of history. Not saying y'all don't have it, not saying other schools don't have it, but I feel like in the grand scheme of things, is the hierarchy. I feel like Ohio State is that next up big name college, like, that people talk about no matter where they are. Not saying they don't talk about Michigan, not saying they don't talk about Texas, but I feel like just the grand scheme of things, where things are aligned right now, Saban retiring, I think it helped us. And now that we won the chip, a lot of the blue chip 5-star players, many of them are going to want to come to Ohio State, or at least give us a look. And I feel like once Ryan Day and our wide receiver coach gets these recruits in there, they're going to want to play for us. You know, we're going to pretty much have whoever we want. So that's going to help our recruiting and help our situation in terms of how deep our team is going to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I will rebuttal about that is that I think there's that school over down there in Athens might have something to say about that. But I think, like, between y'all, Alabama, us, UGA, Texas, that pedigree is still going to be there.
Yeah,
it's just a matter, because it's a lot of players out there, and I think Oregon is up and coming too, because they have a great class coming in. I think Notre Dame is going to still be good because Marcus Freeman is doing some awesome things up there. So, but I think that, you know, the top echelon schools will still be able to hold, you know, what they have. It's just a matter of now other schools are just on the rise also. So I can see that. So. All right, man. I don't let you pump your chest up, man. I don't let you have all that, man. We don't did it for almost 44 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Of showing that school, you know, in Ohio. You know, my other Michigan guy we called y'all the state below the great. You know what I'm saying? But hey, big up to y'all, man, for that chip. I called it because I said y'all was gonna win it. So, whether I wanted y'all to win it or not, I just game recognize game. I'm gonna tell the truth. If I say we suck, we suck. If I say we good, we good. I ain't gonna sit up here and be in my fandom and believe something that's not real. So congratulations to y'all. So let's transition over to something else, man. That's big with us, man. Them NFL playoffs, the final results. Neither one of us got a skin in the game right now. What I wanted was for the Ravens to get past the Bills, which they were well capable of doing that, and they just got out of their own way. Mind you, Lamar played phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? He had one hiccup, but that wasn't even his fault because the guy, when he hiked the ball to him, he had to play catch it, and then trying to make something happen. The ball slipped out his hand in the snow. Other than that, Lamar plays a phenomenal game, man. Big shout out to Josh Allen because he played an equally phenomenal game, and you can tell the respect level because at the end of that game, Josh Allen ran over to Lamar to say, "Hey, man, you got this." And people can say what they want to say about Lamar, about his rant at the end of the game, but I can appreciate that passion of, man, I'm tired of this nonsense. I'm tired of this, man. There's no way we should not have been going to win this AFC championship, to go play in the AFC championship. So, and then on the other side, you got the Commanders beating the Lions, and you have the Eagles just stepping into the NFC championship. So beating the Rams. So, and of course, you got the Chiefs, who I'm thinking at this point, the Chiefs going into that Patriot realm right now. People tired of seeing, and as much, hey, man, if you're winning, you're winning, and you know when to win. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people tired of seeing that red and white, you know what I'm saying, with that arrowhead in the playoffs. And to me, it just shows greatness on championship levels. But I mean, hey, the best way to stop it is you got to beat them. You got to beat them.
Agreed, man. My take on it, just looking at each game, I work the opposite way from you came from. The Chiefs game, when you say they're on the Patriots level, a lot of people feel like when you play them, you playing the refs and everything. And I feel like there were a lot of calls there, just like all season long. The refs really favor their team. I mean, you can't put it any other way.
Hey, and look, when I say Patriots level, I mean like I'm tired of seeing them win. You know what I'm saying? Like how the Patriots were, where people was tired of seeing them win. That's what I meant by that.
Yeah, and see, I got a different take on it because, like, honestly, and I think we may have talked about this in one show, I'm not tired of seeing them win because I like seeing history. And if they were to three-peat, I'll be okay with that because I'm like, nobody's ever done that, and that's like a testament to like their team. Because if you ever played football, if you know football, that's hard to do.
Oh yeah,
that's real hard to do because you got injuries, you got the turnover. I mean, the personnel turnover. So I'm okay with them if they get the three-peat. I'm okay with that. But I feel like they are in a situation to where they get all the calls or 90% of the calls, and you're gonna have to beat them by like 10 points.
Right.
In a close game, I don't know if they can be beat in a close game. If it's a one-score game, I don't think it can be beat. You got to beat them by 10 points or more. In terms of Buffalo, the Buffalo Ravens game, you failed to mention too. Lamar threw a nasty pick. Like that pick he threw, he was kind of like throwing off balance and the ball drifted. So he had a couple turnovers. But the team, I mean, it was a team loss because there were like 4 drops. I think Mark Andrews alone had like 2 or 3 crucial drops. Crucial drops. They had penalties. It was just that was a team loss. They're gonna put it on Lamar, but that was truly a team loss. Mark Andrews, who is his best receiver, I mean, in the first and second half, like especially that 2-point conversion, those were just inexcusable drops. In terms of Washington, I think you're seeing the development of another great quarterback because what Jaden Daniels did, and I like one of the commentators gave like a biblical reference, like Daniels went into the Lions den and beat the Lions. I kind of like that reference.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, unless you follow their team, they had a lot of injuries, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. And I think it caught up with them. I mean, they couldn't stop them. To give up 45 points in a playoff game, they couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
And Daniels, just like the things that Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson do, when you're a running threat and a throwing threat, it just causes problems for the defense.
Right.
And Daniels looks like a savvy veteran out there, like some of the throws he was making.
Yeah.
Very accurate and just timely runs. And then that final game with the Eagles and the Rams, I feel like I got 2 words for you. Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Saquon put that team on his back, gave him 200 yards rushing, and that was the ball game.
Right. Okay, so even just starting right there, what you just said, them 2 words, Saquon Barkley, Big Ten, by the way. How can y'all still try to deframe the running back position? And you've had teams all year long show you how crucial this running back position is. I think in the popularity of just the passing game developing, that was the cliche thing to say. But if you're going to win, you got to be able to run the ball too, man. And Saquon showed that. Even though they lost, Derrick Henry them showed that. And even Josh Allen running the ball. And even Jaden Daniels. I mean, if you think about it, the teams that are winning are being impactful not only in the passing game, but also in the run game. And Saquon he put the running back position on his back. Him and Derrick Henry, they put that running position on their back this year and showed y'all, we're going to show y'all what it's about, because we already talked about with Derrick Henry, you be making business decisions. When you see that big man coming down that hill, you making business decisions. Oh, man, I got to go home to my kids tonight. Then, especially with that stiff arm, he hurting people pride with that. And then Saquon, you can't catch him. You can't get to him fast enough. And then if you try to get to him, he going to jump over you sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So he's really put that running back position on his back. And I was really happy to see that for him, man. Just because of how they try to devalue the running position. Also with Jaden Daniels, man, I love his maturity, man. I love his readiness. And something else that people are not really talking about too much, think about this. Washington is head coached by Dan Quinn. What I'm trying to figure out is, I know Jerry Jones, man, they're just kicking themselves in the tail right now, because when Dan Quinn left us, he went to Dallas. And, they had him there as defensive coordinator. And that same defense coordinator that you let walk out your office is now getting ready to go to the NFC Championship. And Dan Quinn, you say what you want to say. He did it with Seattle, the defense coordinator. Head coach of Atlanta took us went to the Super Bowl, went to Dallas. Dallas defense was very good. Then now with Jaden Daniels and a rookie quarterback at that, going to the NFC Championship, say what you want to say. Atlanta, they was tired of hearing Dan Quinn talk about the brotherhood, and we was missing players, but Dan Quinn at the end of the day, man, he's a great coach, and he's showing that with the talent that he has. So,
Agreed. And I feel like his leadership and the veteran, just the things he's accomplished and the things that he's learned at every step of the way, I think is helping his team get prepared, because he knows what to expect and what buttons to push.
Right.
And I feel like, Jaden Daniels is showing that he's a good enough quarterback where if Washington goes into Philly, I would not be surprised if they go into Philly and win that game.
Right.
Would I be surprised if Philly wins either? No, I wouldn't. But what I'm saying is that game is really up. These last 2 games are really up in the air.
Right.
And I think the Bills probably have the toughest matchup, because, like we said earlier, you're going to have to beat the Chiefs, and they're going to have to beat them convincingly.
Right.
And I feel like they have the tools to do it. And Josh Allen, if he gets a couple of those, like a little 1-yard touchdowns, if he can get about 2 or 3 of those and still do the things that he does, now you might get it. But you're going to have to beat the Chiefs. But I feel that NFC matchup, I feel like the Eagles are going to probably be favored. But if Washington wins, I would not be surprised, because they have all the tools. They have a good running game. They pretty much got their own Sonic and Knuckles themselves. They have a quarterback. They got a stud wide receiver. And they got possession guys like Zach Ertz that playing tight end. They got Scary on the outside. They got like I said, they got a bruising back and a fast back. They got and a veteran back. Austin Eckler is like the Sonic guy, and Brian Robinson is like the Knuckles guy. And these guys, they do what you need to do to win the game.
Right.
I would not be surprised. It's going to be 2 good games.
Yeah.
If you had to pick it, who are you picking to be in the Super Bowl? If you had to pick it right now.
All right, let me say this first. Okay, yeah. So just to answer your question, I'm picking the rematch between the Eagles and the Chiefs, with the Eagles winning this one. That they have an opportunity this time to play that rematch and win it, which I would be perfectly happy with. I'm gonna say this also, man, because. And let me get your take on this also. I really believe, like, right now, Baltimore is really kicking themselves in the head, man, because I feel like this year with the team they had a team that could have went into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs. And for them to have the mistakes that they had that cost them that game, it's like, man, like I know, and even with the odds of Lamar getting his 3rd MVP this year. If they give it to Josh Allen, I say, now they say the votes will end before that game, but I felt like, man, I felt like Lamar should be the MVP just because his numbers are better than what he did last year, and he's playing at a better rate than what he did last year. But because of how some things fold out, Josh hadn't gotten one that they would want to get him one. But I felt like. With them losing that game, I was like, man, dang, that might have sealed it for Josh getting it. But the MVP is a regular season trophy. It's not a playoff trophy. So if you just strictly go by regular season, I feel like Lamar has done enough to get that. Mind you, like I said, I know, man, they like, man, I can't believe we're not playing against Kansas City because we have the team that can beat them. And, even though, and I felt like another week would have gave Zay Flowers a chance to get back. So, but like I think that Philly and Kansas City is a few destinations. Who do you think?
Right. So to answer my question, I believe the Bills are going to get it done this year. I think they're going to beat Kansas City. And I feel like Washington is going to beat the Eagles. And so I know you talked about, Saquon Barkley and just the effect that he has. It's a quarterback league, and I feel like Jalen Hurts is going to have to make some plays with his arm, and he's a little banged up. You can see it from last week. I don't know how that's going to affect him this week, but I feel like Jaden is going to make more plays than him. And I think their defense, so they got those 2 studs on the D-line from Alabama, the 2 D tackles that they have in Washington. I feel like they might be able to control Saquon enough where he doesn't make the plays. And if the ball is in the hands of the quarterbacks at the end, I feel like Jaden can get it done. So I'm going to go ahead and say, give me the 2 upsets. Give me the Bills. Give me the Redskins for those reasons. So
I wouldn't be mad at that game because both I don't dislike either one of these teams. I like them all. So I wouldn't be disappointed with that matchup. And for the Bills, it would be kind of a finally moment to getting back to where they were in the 90s. So I wouldn't be upset with that. Let me ask you this, man. Coming off just the Dr. King holiday, man. Another main reason why I wanted Baltimore to get this win was because coming off the Dr. King holiday, and we down here in Atlanta, in the South, and knowing how much he meant to our history, do you know that this would have been the first time that we would have had 4 starting black quarterbacks in the championship games? 4.
If the Ravens would have won.
Right. Now, we still got 3, so that's still phenomenal. And when you go back to the prime video that Michael Vick did on the evolution of the black quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
and to just have that transcend and flip like that, to have that many starting quarterbacks and they're all black, and even now still three, that's still phenomenal. That's something back in mid '80s, mid '90s that you didn't expect. Not saying we didn't know it could happen, because we always believe in ourselves, but the powers that be that didn't think that we had the ability to be leaders in a sport and lead men, you know, those old heads, is that all that's over with, you know. But to have that effect, to go from the time when we had Doug Williams, who was in the Super Bowl for the first time, to now, you got a chance where you would have three now, but it would have been four black quarterbacks starting, leading their teams in the NFL. That's just phenomenal for the culture, phenomenal for the history, proving that everything, all the biases were wrong. So, you know, what you got?
No, I feel like what you're saying is very, very relevant to the times. And being that it is like, you know, the eve of Martin Luther King's, the day we celebrate his birthday on, it is phenomenal when you look back on it, because we've kind of like we do in pretty much every realm that we become a part of, we dominate it. We tend to, and we become the best at it. And even though I feel like the system does its best to try to hold us down and hold us back, all it does is make us work harder. And when you work harder, you become the best at it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these guys probably know, hey, I'm not going to get as much time as my white counterpart does, so I've got to be great. Just look at like the coaches, like was it Antonio Pierce for the Raiders?
Yeah.
You bring him in as an interim last year, and then you fire him this year. It's like you didn't give him a chance to let his regime work.
Right.
Lovie Smith is another guy that comes to mind where he got fired in Chicago with a winning record.
Right.
He had a winning record, but then they brought in a white counterpart, and he had a losing record, and he stayed there for like 3 or 4 years before they kicked him out.
Right.
So, and those are just two examples, you know. But it just goes to show that by trying to hold us down, all you do is make us better.
Right.
I love seeing it, and these are three great quarterbacks. Like, you can't say anything negative about it, because Jaden Daniels, what he's doing as a rookie quarterback is unprecedented. The Eagles quarterback, Jalen Hurts, getting back to a Super Bowl. If he wins, he's got a shot at doing that. And then, of course, Mahomes is in the same sentences with Tom Brady these days. So, to me, he's doing more at this point in his career than what Brady has done. Like, he could mess around and overtake Brady as the GOAT.
Right.
The trajectory he's on right now. So,
right. And also touching on what you said, Gerard Mayo and the Patriots, his 1 year contract, you know, that all of a sudden that he gone before he got a trash team. You ain't give him nobody good.
Right. Why you fire him like that?
Right. So, you know, to see what they're doing, like you said, with Patrick Mahomes, who's doing it, he did it faster and younger, and you know, when you have a winning mentality, it is what it is, man. Because people didn't like seeing Mike when he was winning. People didn't like seeing Kobe and Shaq when they was winning. People didn't like seeing LeBron when he was winning. But when you have that mentality, it's just there. So the only way to stop it is you got to beat them. So, but for what we have in the dynamic of the culture with the definition of the new quarterback, which now it is the black quarterback, and a versatile mobile quarterback that can get out the pocket, and then with even with this draft, the top two quarterbacks in the draft is going to be Shador and Cam. So it's I love it, man, because you know how I am, man. I unapologetically unapologetically, people that know me know I root for the black quarterback just because of the fact of what they said we can't do. So I love what's going on, man, and big ups to them, man, for that. So, but man, yeah, man. So you going with you going with opposites of what I said, and we're gonna see. But either way, I think it's gonna be a great games and to turn out to be a good Super Bowl.
I agree.
So, well, man, hey, we got another one on the wrap, man. You know what I'm saying? This what we do, man. So, once again, man, I appreciate you, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Showing up for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Showing up to bless your presence, no matter how awkward it may be for Go Blue Nation, but now, with Big LT the Guru, the best wing man in the industry, man. You know what I'm saying? For showing up to the We Win Sports Talk Show family. So, man, hey, man, I salute you, my brother. Congratulations again on y'all win, man. You
Thank
know,
you, sir.
you a brother from another man. I always got love for you. You know what I'm saying? And hey, we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to go see this Captain America, man. We're gonna have to get this on February. We're gonna have to go and do this Captain America, man.
I'm with
Yeah.
it, man. And then talk about it on one of these shows, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So, go and tell wifey. You know what I'm saying? Let's go and set that double date up, man, so we can get this Captain America in on February when it drops. Because I'm excited about that.
Me too. We can meet him at the spot, main event up there that way, right? That's like
Yeah,
midway.
Yep. You know it. So, hey, man. Again, man, appreciate you showing up, man. The best wingman in the business, Big LT, the Guru. You know what I'm saying? Of the national champion Buckeyes. So.
Oh wait. Oh. Bucks.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, I'm gonna holler at you, man. I'm gonna get with you, man. I appreciate you, bro.
All right, man. Good show.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, there you go. That's my boy, Big LT, the Guru, man. I appreciate him showing up, man. As always, man, like we always do. Another phenomenal show, man. Yo, I'm so enjoying these shows, man. I'm loving it, man, and I'm loving the results of what's going on. It's been great, man. We started out last year coming in, you know, had some little bumpy roads, just trying to figure stuff out, get stuff going, man. But we here, man, and we ain't going nowhere, man. So it is what it is. So, hey, man, I just want to move into what we always do, man. Let's get this encouragement going on, man, because everybody needs it at some point. So, man, just know, man, and in this time frame of encouragement, you know, I want to talk about something real quick. I want to talk about determination and grit. Y'all know we've spoken in the past about not giving up. You know, when you're going through obstacles, knowing how to speak things into existence, not giving up on your dreams, and how you got to grasp hold of that. And another part of that is determination. You know, a definition for determination is firmness of purpose. And I had another word that came up in my spirit that said relentless. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you're trying to get and go through in life and get to, you have to have some determination. You have to have some grit, some doggone, some I'm not giving up. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to let it go. And that's how it's been for us here with me and We Win Sports Talk Show, man. It's determination and the grit. You know, this wasn't my first rodeo of doing a show. I had a radio show in 2016 that aired on iHeartRadio and Love 860 AM. That was the birth of Smooth T's Win Sports Talk Show. And because of, you know, different things and understanding the industry, you know, we had to shut it down for a while, and it's been trying to find the best way to bring it back into life. And to do that, it takes determination and grit. And even when you start, you know, you have people that you know that are in the industry that are doing things. And like I said last week, you don't have time to compare. You don't have time to complain. You don't have time to compromise. Those are my big 3 C's. Never complain, never compromise, and never compare. Because it's not going to do you, because you don't know what somebody's story is, what they went through, and what they had to go to get to where they're at. A lot of times people see the end, but they don't understand the process, which is what I talked about last week. But you have to fall in love with the process. And when you fall in love with the process, the reward will show up. So part of that is having that determination, man. And why am I saying that right now? Because, man, right now I am so grateful for everything that's been going on with We Win Sports Talk Show. Right now, we at the cusp of having our first 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers, man. That's big for me, man. That's huge. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate every person. I don't know where everybody may be at all across this world. People like sports. So I don't know where you at across this world, across this nation. But hey, for those, we at 900 and some change, 946, something like that. So man, I appreciate that because we close to that 1,000 and we're gonna keep going. I'm determined, relentless, firm for this purpose that I will not let it go. I know what we're here to do, man, and what I love to do and what I enjoy to do. I appreciate that. On this our 28th show. We had 27 in last week. We did the show, the Gold Blue Show with my partner Mac, and man, that show went phenomenal, man. 1,600 views. Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? I sound like my Big Red in 5 RBs. I'm just a little small country boy with a small label, but I work hard for my artists. So that's why I'm at, man. I'm just one person with a dream that trusts God and know that He can do anything exceedingly abundantly above all ask or think. So this is the beginning, man. Because when people don't know about you, you make yourself known. Next week, I got to show my old commercial that I had, because one thing I said in that commercial was that, man, I wasn't getting invited to their party, so I decided I'm gonna start my own party, and y'all invited. So, man, I appreciate everybody that's been showing up. We are determined. We have determination. We have the grit that we will be a force in this industry of what we're doing, because this is what we love to do, man. I've been talking sports my whole life. So now it's time for just me to share my thoughts, and I appreciate y'all, because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to come right here and kick it with me, your boy, your host with the most, Smooth T, for We Win Sports Talk, man. So that's what I got for y'all today, man. Stay determined. Stay grit, man. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna make that impact. I heard somebody say something, I'm gonna get this shirt made because it's already out there, but I gotta find it. But I plan and will make impact. And what does that stand for? I make purpose. Ooh. Hold on, I gotta go. I gotta pull it back up. Hold on. They did this. Hey, this is just me authentically. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Holy Ghost. I make purpose a common thing. Impact. I make purpose a common thing. So, man, I heard that while I was watching my boy Dukes the Scoop on his show, and one of his listeners put that up, and I was like, yo, that's something serious. I make impact a common thing. I make purpose a common thing. I make purpose a common thing, which is impact. So look, I'm just talking now. With this determination, this firmness of purpose, and this relentlessness that we have, I thank y'all for the 900 plus subscribers that we have, on our way to 1,000, and from that 1,000 on our way to 2,000, 3,000, to 4,000, till we up in there with the rest. You know what I'm saying? Though my latter beginning may be small, my greater end shall be great. So, man, I thank y'all for that, man. I thank y'all for watching us for these 27 episodes that we have right now. Now 28 when you finally get this and you see it. But hey, man. So in anything you do, man, stay determined. Continue with that grit, that firmness of purpose, being relentless, not to give up. Knowing that, man, when you speak it into existence and you believe it and you hold on to it, that's all you need. And know that God got you. So, hey, man, this is your boy, your host with the most, Smooth T, man. I appreciate y'all showing up, man. Pieces and blessings and love, man, to y'all. Thank y'all for watching, man. Hey, it's another show. I appreciate y'all, man. It's a wrap. Appreciate y'all so much. Y'all be blessed. We see y'all on the next episode. Next episode gonna be awesome, man. I got another special guest coming through, man. It's gonna be something serious. It's gonna be dope, man. So, hey, man, God bless y'all, man. We out of here. Peace. Oh, I always do this. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Also, remember this. Winning is the end game. And if you ain't about to win, don't go in. Peace.